I'd like to call the August 17th meeting of the Planning and Traffic Commission to order, and we're going to call upon our Commissioner Tom Ludden to join it to lead us in the flag salute. Please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tom. All right, public comments. I think we might have some tonight. Just a guess.
Vicki. Is Vicki Davis?
We are here with the support of the Serrano Highlands Master Association and residents representing the single-family homes regarding the chronic parking issues on Palmwood and moving vehicle concerns. The 20-page presentation you've received provides details of our concerns with suggestions to resolve them. For time's sake, each page of your handout will not be reviewed. We are summarizing key points, requesting you review the full details later. We are not asking to eliminate parking on Palmwood, rather find ways to reduce the number of vehicles and the residual side effects of chronic parking. Our first concern is the effect parked cars have on moving vehicles. Cars exiting communities onto Palmwood must pull further into the intersection to see oncoming traffic. Parked vehicles, road curvature, and speeding vehicles compromise line of sight and safety. Overflow parking occurring on the three primary streets for the single-family neighborhood adds to the risk for entering and exiting Palmwood. Additional concerns involve the side effects of chronic parking with impact the health and safety of our community, including promoting the storing of inoperable, abandoned, or lived-in vehicles, significantly and consistently reducing the effectiveness of street sweeping, excessive trash ranging from paper products to unwanted household items such as TVs and exercise equipment. Of most concern are syringes and needles, used condoms, broken beer bottles, empty alcohol bottles, cigarette butts, and lighters, which presents potential fire danger. Our proposed suggestions align with the Lake Forest Residential Parking Manual. They include work with management of multiple resident communities on reducing parking on Palmwood, including possible elimination of parking permit fees. Extend the red painted curb corners into the neighborhood street entrances from Palmwood, particularly where fire hydrants exist. Implement street sweeping signs. Provide additional trash containers at appropriate intervals along Palmwood and Peachwood, with some providing pet waste bags. Our next two concerns involve all drivers using Peachwood and Palmwood as primary thoroughfares. First, high speeds and erratic driving make it dangerous entering and exiting the communities. Suggested solutions include post additional speed signs with proper visibility, periodic speed deterrence along Palmwood and Peachwood to maintain posted speed requirements. Second concern is the interaction of Peachwood and Palmwood, where at least one fatality has occurred. The improper and inconsistent use of turn signals coupled with multiple blind spots for vehicles entering the intersection add to the hazard. With 85 new homes beginning construction at the top of Peachwood, increased traffic will add to this danger. Suggested solutions include protected right turns for both Palmwood entrances and a stop sign or light at the first Palmwood intersection. We thank you for your time in allowing us, and we also thank you very much for providing us with copies of this presentation. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Well, I think possibly the best thing we can do, because we really can't talk about it because you're not on an agendized, but I think we have a report from our traffic department. They probably will bring you up to date, because I believe you guys were at City Council, and they've been diligently working on trying to help you guys out. And we're going to be learning a lot more about the whole parking management with regards to our new role as traffic commissioners in just about 2 weeks. So we'll have a full presentation and we kind of know a little bit about it because we've looked at this certainly before, but we're going to have a good lesson in a couple of weeks. So we're working.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to call on Doug Anderson.
Sure. Thank you, Chair Fuentes and members of the Planning and Traffic Commission. My name is Doug Anderson, Traffic Engineering Consultant for the City. You are correct. This group has met with the City Manager's Office, and they have gone over and laid out somewhat of what we're going to be doing in the near term as well as the long term. In the long term, like you said, in about 2 weeks, September 14th, I believe, your meeting, we will be making a presentation on the city's parking manual, which covers the residential parking requirements and street sweeping requirements and different things like that. So I invite all of you and encourage you to show up to that meeting, and you can kind of ask questions there. We can kind of go through the manual in detail and address many of the concerns you might have. In the short term, what we're doing, there was a plan laid out with the collaboration of the departments in the city here. And one thing we're doing is we're contacting the surrounding multifamily complexes, apartments, condos, seeing if anyone's charging for parking out there. Interesting enough, we've started doing that today, and so far of the ones that we've contacted, we have found one that has a parking fee program and one that does charge for excess parking out there. But we'll be forwarding that information to the ad hoc committee that's been put together by the city. It's called the Parking Management Action Committee, and that meets on a regular basis as needed and deals with these type of issues. The other thing we're doing was we're doing the line of sight studies that was referred to earlier, looking at the red curb that's out there now, the need for any additional red curbs, making sure there is sufficient sight distance at all of the driveways and the roadway accesses. I know that your presentation identified 3 streets that you were interested in. We're going to be doing all of the streets on the outside of the curb as well as the inside of the curb, as well as the major intersections at Peachwood and Palmwood. That will start tomorrow morning. It'll probably take us about a week to complete that. The surveys that I previously spoke to, we've started those. Those should be done by the first part of next week, so we'll have information related to that also. We're also looking at possible street sweeping restrictions out there. I think that the city manager's office had proposed looking on a temporary basis maybe of establishing temporary street sweeping on the Thursday morning when the street sweeper does come, just to see what the effect would be in the neighborhood. Typically what happens is relocates vehicles into the neighborhood themselves when they leave that collector type street, which Palmwood is. That's an experiment we do try. We also take counts of vehicles on the street during the street sweeping times when the street sweeper goes through. And then working with the street sweeping policy, we try to determine if there's a need to post signs or if there's a need for other type of actions in that area. We're also looking at some of the litter issues that were brought up. I know that the field services or the field maintenance people are driving out there on a regular basis. There's 2 individuals that will be picking up large items. If we see mattresses, tires, things like this, and they need paraphernalia like similar to what you described earlier, those will be picked up. And lastly, I know that Carlo, the assistant to the city manager, has been working with the police department or the Orange County Sheriff's Department here, looking at doing active enforcement out there. They're going to be tagging abandoned cars. Any type of cars that are not in compliance with current registration will be cited. Any vehicles violating the 72-hour rule will be cited. And then any of the large vehicles over 22 feet, which is not allowed to park on that street, those will also be cited and eventually towed if nothing happens there. So those are some of the short-term items we're doing. And then we can report back once we meet with the internal group. Then we'll get back to the Planning Commission and Traffic Commission and for your direction either on to the City Council or whatever you want to say.
Well, yes, you have been busy. Thank you.
Yes, we have. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, we have our local police officer here, retired, that wants to say something.
Kind of a comment regarding if I don't know if you guys have a newsletter to put out to your people, but if there is a vehicle specifically that looks like it's abandoned or it's been there a long time, if you jot down the license plate and the location, call the sheriff's non-emergency number, let them know, then they'll send somebody out to specifically hit that one if they happen to miss it. So this is something to consider.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so before we go on to any more public comments, I don't know if we have any. I'd just like to let the record show that all of the commissioners are in attendance. So more public comments?
One more. I'm sorry, Roger Gregston.
Good evening. And Commissioners, first of all, thank you for your service to the city. We appreciate it. I know you make a lot of money doing this and get nothing but gratitude and accolades. So seriously, thank you. We appreciate it. I'm all on board with this. I live in the Serrano Highlands, but I want to mention a couple of other things. That one of them slightly related, one of them not related. One's a different traffic issue. But the first one is the right-hand, a suggestion to make the number 2 lane on Palmwood, I'm sorry, on Peachwood, a right turn only, or protected, as Sharon said, where it goes into Palmwood. At that intersection, as she indicated, sadly, there has been at least one fatal accident involving a motorcycle. I think that was probably about 2 years ago. But people come speeding through, and probably, anecdotally, I'd say 8 to 9 out of 10 cars are turning right at Palmwood. Of course, not everyone is courteous enough to use that right blinker, but it's that 10th one after you've had 3 that didn't turn on the right blinker turn, and you're doing this, and you start to go, and it's that 10th car flying up the hill in that number 2 lane. I think that could easily be remedied. Now, as a point of interest, I think that street's getting ready to be slurry sealed, possibly in the next week or 2. And I realize you probably can't move quite that fast, but presumably there's restriping on the horizon immediately after that, obviously. The other one I wanted to mention, no relationship to any of this, but on El Toro, there's been in my mind, a long-term problem there. El Toro and Trabuco, where there's the exits from the 2 centers, one next to Chipotle, between Chipotle and the Mobile station, across the street between the Del Taco and the 76 station. The concrete median ends there, and it turns into 2 double yellow lines. It's amazingly common to see people coming out of those centers turning left. Obviously, it's illegal to do, but nevertheless, they do it all the time, creating not only a huge traffic hazard, but frequently clogging traffic right there at what is already a clogged intersection as Trabuco tries to get through El Toro. What I call the plastic sticks that you put up on Trabuco coming out of Ralph's have been very effective, and I assume that's very economical also. To me, that's a simple solution right there. If you just continued those plastic sticks from the end of that concrete median down to the crosswalk, I think you could completely eliminate and mitigate that issue. So anyway, thank you again. We appreciate your service.
Thank you very much. He started with his name, yeah, we got his name. Thank you. Did you have a comment on that, Doug?
Yes, if you don't mind.
I saw you doing a lot of this.
Well, we actually have taken the plastic delineators into consideration. Thank you for that recommendation. Right now, we're currently working with the shopping center management company to try to get them to install some arrows, right turn arrows, some right turn only signs on the property. They do have them, not at the Chipotle driveway, but the next one down. They have that implemented already. Where the gentleman is speaking about is up near Chipotle, is where the problem is, where they shoot across there and make illegal left turns. They're going against traffic to make that left turn. So we're trying that approach as well. We do need to study that a little bit more to find out what types of numbers we're looking at that are doing this type of activity, some counts, things like that, and then also look through some of the accident records in that area for the last 3 years. So we are working on that. Real soon.
Thank you again, Doug. Okay, I'm going to go a little off agenda, and I think Hung Dao will probably tell me if I'm illegal, immoral, or fanning or something. But I'd like to just maybe, without violating any kind of Brown Act, if all of our commissioners would like to just make a quick comment to all of our residents. You know, we really love having you here because we usually have nobody here. But we will have we have our agenda, and it might get a little boring for you. But if some of the commissioners want to just say something now, then you could you're welcome to stay. It's great coffee, or you can say your adieu. So anyway, does any of our commissioners have anything to say they would like to say to our residents tonight with regards to their traffic concerns?
I'm looking forward to the September meeting and presentation. I hope that will prompt a discussion up here as to how we can agendize a couple of things, because I know it's not only up there, but there are several other areas in the community having similar problems. So it's something I know we're all, ready to address as fast as we can. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'd agree with
Carter, I really appreciate the time you've taken to come and meet with us tonight and to share your concerns. I really did enjoy your PowerPoint presentation. That was very informative. And I appreciate your time and effort for doing that. And I also am interested in the September 14th meeting, and I'm glad to see that staff has taken the initiative to do so many things so far. And I think maybe we can move closer to getting a resolution of this, which hopefully will benefit everyone. Thank you.
I just want to say I'm impressed by the time and effort and organization, and the logic of your language was really good, and I look forward to the 14th.
Great. Well, then again, we all want to thank you for coming in, for sharing. And I don't know that you'd find too many cities that are as responsive as Lake Forest. I love to see this, and I hope you guys give your city council a pat on the back, because they're our leaders. All righty. So with that, we are going to move on to any other public comments. Nope. Okay. So then we will go into our presentation items.
And Chair Fuentes, there are no presentation items tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say consider. Sorry. Is there a motion?
Move for approval of consent.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. And let's vote. Motion carries. Okay, so now we will go into the public hearing.
Thank you, Chair Fuentes, members of the Commission. Our first item this evening is a planned sign program for an Arco gas station, and we have a report from Amy Stonich.
Good evening, Chair and members of the Commission. The item before you tonight is Planned Sign Program 06175050 for a new illuminated canopy band sign station located at 9080 Portola Parkway. The existing Arco station was constructed in 2002 within the Foothill Gateway Phase 2 shopping center. Signs were issued at that time as part of the new construction. The applicant is proposing an illuminated Arco channel letters and a new LED laser line lighting band around the existing canopy fascia. The applicant is also planning to reface the existing monument sign, replace and update the graphics on the gas dispensers, and replace the trash receptacles, bollard guards, and ancillary signage for canopy clearance and columns. The city's code allows lighting for the purposes of signage, such as the illuminated canopy band, subject to a planned sign program. All the ancillary signs are included in the application to assure coordination and compatibility between all the signs. Staff has reviewed the other signs and confirmed that they are consistent with the city's sign ordinance. The applicant has indicated that the illuminated LED band is being installed as part of the Luminant program for many Arco stations. Although there are few illuminated canopy bands in the city of Lake Forest, there is one at Chevron located at the corner of Trabuco Road and Big Parkway. This illuminated band was permitted prior to the update of the city's sign code and therefore wasn't subject to the planned sign program. The proposed illuminated canopy will be constructed in a manner that will provide Arco identification to customers while providing an additional lighting feature that will showcase the canopy. The illuminated Arco channel letters and logo sign on two elevations of the canopy are consistent with the city's sign code. Existing signs on the building will remain, and the existing monument sign will be refaced with a new sign face. Other changes include the gas dispenser reface and ancillary signage for the canopy clearance and columns, which are minor in nature, and all signs are consistent with the citywide design guidelines. Based on these findings, staff is recommending approval of Planned Sign Program 06175050 for Arco. A resolution which includes Planning and Traffic Commission is before you on the dais. I'm available to take questions.
Okay, so any questions of Amy or any other staff? All right, are there any questions from Any speakers on the item? No? All right, we'll bring it back up here. Does anybody have any discussion or a motion?
Well, I remember the thing when it was first approved, and I do like the band. It appears it's not going to be the full width of the canopy, so it's only, do you know what the dimension is as far as the width of that lighted band is? It looks like it's about 3 to 4 inches is all it is.
Attachment plans, just a portion of the band. It's not the entire band itself. That's why they call it the laser line. I can look up the site on the details. Okay, well, I can see, without glasses, I can see the entire band, which is blue, is actually 15 inches, but the laser line within it is about 1/8 of that.
Good. Yeah, because I think, it's nicely presented. I mean, it's not going to be overwhelming. It catches your eye, but yet it's not overwhelming. So I like it. I'm in favor with it. And I would make a motion to go ahead.
Does anybody else have more comments before a motion? Hearing none.
I'd like to move for approval, staff recommendation.
I'll second that.
All right, let's vote. Motion carries. Thank you and congratulations. Lighted sign.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have another public hearing?
We do. And Chair Fuentes, this is changed plan to revoke a changed plan 2002-35, and here to explain is Amy Stonich.
This application is a request to revoke change plan 2002-35. The change plan was approved in 2002 for a 53,264 foot addition to the existing industrial building at 20 Icon. The construction, however, never commenced. A new site development permit for a different expansion was approved in 2012 for a specific prospective tenant. In order to avoid the presence of two conflicting entitlements, Change Plan 2002-35 was deemed null and void. In 2014, it was determined that the prospective tenant would not occupy the building. At that time, the property owner requested that the city revoke the approved site development permit and reinstate Change Plan 2002-35. The property was subsequently sold, and the new owner applied and was approved for a tentative parcel map to subdivide the property into 2 parcels. The new owner requested flexibility to allow either the subdivision or the building addition approved in Change Plan 2002-35. Therefore, a condition of approval was placed on the parcel map requiring the applicant to revoke Change Plan 2002-35 prior to finalizing the tentative map to split the parcel into 2. The current property owner now requests that the Planning Commission revoke the change plan so that the property may be subdivided. The public hearing process is consistent with the municipal code requirements, and staff is recommending that the Commission adopt a resolution to revoke Change Plan 2002-35. The resolution has been slightly modified to include the appropriate title of the Planning and Traffic Commission and is before you on the dais. And the applicant audience, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any questions on this revoking of the change plan?
Because I'm watching on and off. We're just revoking the one. We're not approving the authorization to subdivide at this point in time. So we're just removing the veil to allow us to look at it as a clean context at that point in time.
Correct.
Okay.
Is it safe to assume, because they're looking at subdividing the property, that the existing building is going to be removed?
The intent of the subdivision would be to keep the existing building. With the revocation of the change plan, they wouldn't be able to add on. Instead, their intent would be to split the one parcel into two and then add a new building with its own parking.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow, Amy, that was a good presentation. Only 2 questions. Okay, so are there any, does the applicant want to speak, or is there any public speakers on this item?
I'm available for questions if required.
Thank you. Question from the applicant? All right, so let's bring it up here.
Make a motion to close the public hearing and approve staff's recommendation.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded, and let's vote. Wow, 5-0. Congratulations. All right, so with that, we're done, except for discussion items. Director comments.
Thank you. As you know, this week, Commissioners, we did a poll to find out when it would be a good time to schedule a tour of the Nikasi property, and it turns out that the 28th of September is the best day to do that. So please plan on being here at 4:30 p.m. on that day, and we'll do a couple-hour tour. And then there will be dinner provided for the Planning Commissioners, since we will start our meeting at 7 o'clock that evening. So again, just go ahead and please agendize the 28th for that tour. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Are we walking around in the dirt and all that? For what's the...
Well, the
Don't wear your high heels.
I'll make a note of that. But I would just,
the tour itself is really going to be up to Toll to orchestrate. There will be transportation provided. Whether or not they're going to want to stop and look at different vantage points, I don't know at this time, but I would suggest wearing something comfortable and that you don't mind getting too dirty.
Okay. City Attorney?
No comment.
All right, so now we will go to Director comment or Commissioner comments. And go.
Answer your question. I would recommend that you wear some shoes that you can walk in, because if it's going to be anything like we did with the properties for AJ West and those, we were out tromping around through everything. So I will put my high heels away and bring some loafers and walk through there.
yeah, I'm retired. That's the only kind of shoes I own, are the comfortable ones.
Very good, very good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That gives you an opportunity to go out and really see, what we're going to be doing, confronted with that parcel. So that's about it. I'm really looking forward to September 14th meeting. I think that will be a very interesting and an opportunity. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to freely discuss in that particular meeting multiple areas that have the same, problems that we're confronted here with Peachwood. So it'd be nice to be able to address them with a sort of open, blank slate type thing and see if we can find out what we have to do to change certain things, what can be done simply, readily, and efficiently. So I'm looking forward to that.
And hopefully if Doug's all over it, which I assume we probably won't have anything to discuss because it'll be all solved. Yeah. Anyway, but I appreciate you guys getting on that and getting ahead of it. Thanks.
Well, I actually don't have any comments, other than thanks to the staff. Thank you, guys.
I'll save my comments for the 14th of September. But I do appreciate the staff reports tonight. They were really good and very helpful. So thank you for all your good work on that.
Well, I would just say if the way the Traffic Commission is going to go, then it's going to be easy, right? You guys just take care of everything. Everybody comes to us happy. We like that. But thank you very much. That was and I know, Mr. Wheeler, you had a lot to play in that, and City Manager's Office too, so thank you. And very lovely.
Can I add one thing?
Yes, of course.
I want to compliment you on being able to take care of the concerns and expressing letting them know, at least in the audience, that we did acknowledge what they were discussing.
Oh, by going off agenda?
Yeah, really. I mean, I can recall one meeting in my past that was just, oh my God, because we were totally silent up here, and I think it's very appropriate that we acknowledge that the individuals come, we've taken note, et cetera, and we allow just to acknowledge the fact that because they're taking their time to come out, and I think that was very effective, and I compliment you on that.
Great, thanks. All right, well, with that, we're going to adjourn till August 24th, and we'll just call this meeting done.